My name is Mike Hooker. I am a representative on the Florida Bar Board of Governors for the 13th Judicial Circuit. That's in Hillsborough County, Florida. I practice law with the law firm of Phelps Dunbar, and that's in Tampa. I have been a member of the bar for some 32 years, and I practice law in the area of commercial litigation. I graduated from the University of Virginia School of Law. I'm asked from time to time, what does the Florida Bar Board of Governors really do other than mete out punishment to misbehaving lawyers? And I think some people think of the Florida Bar as kind of a superordinate police force that simply regulates lawyer conduct. It is true that the Florida Bar is a disciplinary body in part, and in my mind it's actually the most important function of the Florida Bar, because without some regulatory oversight, a few bad apples could literally undermine the entire profession. But the Florida Bar is also much, much more than simply a disciplinary body. For instance, when there are technological advances in the practice of law, such as the enabling of filing of motions and pleadings by email or filing them electronically, it's the Florida Bar that steps forward and promulgates or proposes new rules that allow that to be done consistently and effectively. When the public needs to know more about lawyers that they're considering hiring, it's the Florida Bar that proposes certification programs that allow consumers of legal services to make more informed decisions. When lawyers need a way to remain current with respect to developments in the practice of law, the Florida Bar oversees continuing legal educational programs so that lawyers can remain up to date. And perhaps most importantly, when the judiciary comes under attack because it's simply trying in good faith to interpret and apply the laws enacted by the Florida legislature, the Florida Bar, along with other bar associations, comes to their defense, and thereby helps to preserve the integrity and independence of this vital third branch of our government. Now, could we do better? Absolutely, you can always do better. But when people complain to me, well, what's the Florida Bar done for me lately? I always encourage them to get involved. The Florida Bar can only be as effective and responsive as the persons who are involved in the Florida Bar's endeavors. So don't just sit on the sidelines and complain. Participate, get involved. I think the biggest problem facing lawyers today is that there are simply too many lawyers, and apparently this view is shared by others. When the Florida Bar conducted its 2013 survey, one of the questions asked was, what is the biggest challenge facing the legal profession today? The number one response was an overabundance of lawyers. I think the causes for this problem are complex and multifaceted, but they certainly include the fact that law schools for a number of years have been churning out record numbers of new law graduates, thereby simply increasing the supply of lawyers beyond the available demand. In addition, clients seem to have become increasingly demanding that lawyers be more efficient, and they're not willing to pay for training of new lawyers who they do not consider to be adequately prepared when they get out of law school. In addition, there have been technological advances that allow for improved efficiency in the practice of law, so that lawyers today can achieve the same degree of productivity as in the past, but with fewer billable hours, and hence fewer lawyers to generate those hours. But perhaps the biggest irony to me is that, notwithstanding there are a lot of lawyers, and perhaps too many lawyers, the legal needs of many sectors of our society are still going unmet. And I'm not talking just about the poor and disadvantaged. I'm talking about middle America. The average Joe simply can't justify or sometimes afford shelling out a couple $100 an hour for basic legal services. So this is a problem that we're going to have to address. I will say that I think that bar associations, including the Florida Bar, have a pivotal role that we can play in this solution, because we are kind of uniquely positioned among all of the primary participants, lawyers, new law grads, law schools, and clients. But whatever the solution, I think it's going to have to include trying to find some way to reallocate the apparent excess of available legal services to meet the needs of all members of our society. As a kid, I really didn't know any lawyers, but I certainly knew of lawyers. Where I grew up, lawyers commanded positions of esteem and respect, that they were looked up to, they were admired. And as I became older, I began to learn about the role that lawyers had played in creating a democratic form of government in this country. I learned that the drafter of the Declaration of Independence, the primary drafter of our Constitution, and the chief orator who pushed the Declaration through the Continental Congress were all lawyers. And I came to understand that lawyers seem to play a disproportionate role in governmental leadership in this country. So all of these things left kind of an indelible imprint on me as a kid and helped shape what I wanted to be when I grew up. Unfortunately, I don't know that the view that lawyers are people of high integrity and high moral character is universally shared as much anymore. It seems like lawyers are just as often the butt of derisive jokes or unsavory stereotypes. But I think that lawyers deserve a little more respect. I challenge you to find any other occupation that is more at the forefront of social reform or social justice in this country than lawyers. And I think it's difficult to think of another occupation that has given more back to the community in which we live. When you think about it, when a person's really in trouble, when they're perhaps facing their biggest life challenge, unless it's a matter of health or perhaps spirituality, they're just as likely as not to turn to a lawyer for assistance. So for all those reasons, I still like lawyers. I respect lawyers. I consider the legal profession to be one of the noblest, and I'm proud to be a member of it. Thank you.